And you know what, Dean? Just like that, we're live.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Mary Alice as well.
Oh my gosh. Dean, I have to say, happy Martin Luther King Day. I get to spend today with you and with Melody. And what a nice way to spend today because I can't even believe that it's already January. And if I were to say anything, I was robbed. We were all robbed of the opportunity to be with you and to learn with you at Nyscape in November because of a
Yeah,
massive snowstorm that just
yeah,
so to
that
be
was
able to see you in a week is really extra special.
yeah, that was certainly crazy. I certainly a missed opportunity, and it seems like the weather's just been interesting ever since. Because like right now, there's frost in my car outside. A couple of days in a row. I mean, yesterday was 36, and now it's 38 outside here in Orlando. So I don't think we had any snow this time, but
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh,
crazy.
that makes me think, Dean, how are the poor lizards in Florida right now if it's 30?
I saw someone post something. I don't know if it was a meme, but it had the iguanas on there as a way to tell how cold it was.
Oh,
Um, I haven't heard any stories about them falling from the trees yet, but I'm sure as cold as it is here, they're probably cold down there.
they're hibernating. They're hibernating. Oh,
Ah,
well, within 1 week today, we will both be in New Orleans, which I have said to you off camera too, that since we weren't able to see you in November because of that storm, um, that I'm going to make every opportunity, extra opportunity to get as much Dean Gainey time as possible. Because when I think of the FETC conference, two of the people that I'm always thinking about is you and Amber McCormick, honestly. And so I'm so happy that you are going to be able to be there. I'm going to be able to be there, and we are hosting together this incredible DigCit Academy workshop. Which, Dean, I want to just start with when we were at ISTE this June. That's really where the idea. I mean, feel like the idea was probably like it was already planted. The seed was planted, but the actual reality of it really happened behind the scenes, and a lot of that conversation was with you. So,
and so, yeah, it's very interesting. I still remember the conversation that we had. In fact, I remember the day we went live right there in the lobby area at the conference. And it's interesting and always inspiring when you get around people that share a similar passion, drive, inspiration, motivation that you do. I don't think you can come away from any of those moments without a new idea, a new thought, something that you didn't consider before, or even just a major motion picture. You never know what you're going to come away with, and that was I believe a conversation that really inspired much more than what we're doing right now. Even just to keep us going, keep the fire burning, and hopefully that passion will lead to many, many other things beyond FETC. But I'm certainly excited about this academy at the conference next week.
oh my gosh. Well, I want to let you know that we're getting someone's watching in. This is Ella from Flip Learn Kids in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. And, this is pretty fantastic because Ella, I really feel like you and Dean need to make a connection because specifically what we're doing at FETC, and we have created this like three different pathways. It's like a choose your own adventure. One pathway is going to be what we're calling like passion projects. And Dean, you happen to be one of those, you are that passion project. And I'd love for you to talk about it because I feel like Flip Learn Kids, you could, I'm hoping that this idea starting at FETC continues to dawn. We have that global student showcase happening in April. And how wonderful would it be if there's, even if it's not a full performance, but it's something, a seed that was started, right? That was planted because
Yeah.
of this. And then we got to showcase it. So I want you to know, I see Ella saying hello to me. hello to you. I'll make sure that you are both connected after the fact. But Dean, tell us about what's going to happen in your learning station.
So first of all, hello Ella. Thanks for coming on here. I don't know what time it is over there, but it's bright and early, 8 o'clock a.m. in Florida. And so this is truly, truly, truly a passion project. In 2020, I guess I should back up a little bit. 2018 was actually the first time I had the opportunity to write. And I'm so grateful for those opportunities. But in 2020, it was impressed upon me to draft something that I thought was very, very important in terms of the society that we live in, and just the value that we all have, and the fact that everybody has something to offer. And so, I mean, the term diversity really is a strength, I believe, because we all come from different places. We may speak different languages, including sign language, but there's so much value that we bring when we come together and actualize that. So I wrote a play called Diversity. It's not just about you, it's about us. And the passion, of course, in there was the idea that we could perpetuate what it means to celebrate diversity, and in so doing, build community. And so conversations with Mary Alice, after the fact, how do we get this? What can I do? Kind of thing. We kind of arrived at something called the Global Act Aloud, hashtag Global Act Aloud 2023. Just thinking about a way to get people from around the world, different classrooms, different languages, different types of people coming together for a sole purpose to sort of demonstrate what diversity really is and what that strength actually looks like in a global act aloud. So at the station at the FETC Academy, we're going to talk about, obviously have copies of the play. In fact, this is, if you can see this, hopefully I can get it to show.
There you go. Perfect.
So this is the actual play itself. It's called Diversity. It's not just about you, it's about us. This is the book. I will have copies of the book there with us. So we're going to talk our way through it. Maybe not the entire thing, but we're going to look at it at a glance, and we're gonna discuss what that might look like in terms of digital citizenship, in terms of helping people to see value with others. How do we get our students to see that I don't have all the answers, but together we're better than we are by ourselves? How do we get our students to understand the value of being alert, the value of being those digital citizenship areas that Mary Alice does a great job of honing in on. And so as a part of the Academy, hopefully, right, we'll get people to participate, join in with us so we can produce this big global act aloud where we bring all of our classrooms together despite our distance, despite our geographic locations, and show the world and show our classrooms and show everybody what really diversity means. And so the strength of that. And so we're gonna deal with that. In fact, I have we're going to talk about some ways in which we can incorporate this play, the digital citizenship standards, with a platform that I use quite a bit. And that platform is called Spaces. So you'll hear about that as well. And there's something that you'll go away with from that particular event that will be very, very instrumental in you sort of diving into getting students involved in the idea of diversity. So that's in a nutshell, Mary Alice. I don't know if there's anything else you want me to add to that, but.
Well, that really, I mean, that to me, when we talk about the different layers of digital citizenship, I mean, there are so many that we can touch upon. But to me, that larger one is that layer of about what are we doing? How are we carving out time and space for our, students really to explore and understand and experience what it means to be inclusive? And here's just this opportunity, like our passion projects for this choose your own adventure is this opportunity to experience it in action, like through a passion project. That is going to be one of the pathways. Another pathway is looking at, again, I love to use the idea, the visual of layers, adding different voices and perspectives as layers. So, we've got administrative voice, we've got a tech integrator voice, the teacher librarian voice, so that you look at this as like, how can I bring this type of learning experience back to my community? How can I build a team that's going to support this type of learning for our entire school community, not just for our students, right? But like not just at school, but at home, at play, at work. And so I always love connecting the dots. And I feel like I love the work that you do, Dean. Like, I really respect and admire you and the opportunity that I get to learn side by side. I want more opportunities. And so I look at what's happening next week at FETC as just another opportunity for then. I'm already looking ahead, like that big picture. We have that global student showcase where we are inviting classrooms around the world and students around the world to really model how to use technology for good, no matter what language or languages you speak. And to do that, to have an opportunity to be able to, again, showcase what the Global Act allowed, the power of that, not just next week, but connecting those dots. I'm thrilled. And Ella, I know, is already on Spaces as well. So you had mentioned this is something that you've done on Spaces. So I just feel like more opportunities to connect more dots, which makes me really happy.
Yeah, and so how awesome it is that learning doesn't just take place within four walls, but learning can really transcend the globe when you really think about the power of a play like this, bringing all kinds of people together, different ages, different races, different colors of skin, just different people. And so one of the things that I will say about this play is that when it was written in the sense of none of the characters were described. None of the characters were given a certain age. They were just given a name. And so one of the benefits or the highlights of the play, in my opinion, is that Mary Alice, you talked about perspective, you talked about viewpoint, you talked about what you bring to the table as an individual and how you see things. And so one of the interesting things is the discussion that can come from using a play like this, where you really don't know exactly the role that this particular person is playing in the big picture, but you get to discuss that. You get to see what different people think about the characters. You get to see how someone's purview might influence your own view of who that character is and the role that they're playing in the overall picture. And so not only is it a learning experience for all parties involved, it's an opportunity to kind of see others' points of view.
That is so powerful. That's that idea of walking in somebody else's shoes, right? Like looking from a different perspective. And this is where we need to carve out time and space for our young people to, and not just our students, our whole school community to have that opportunity. Because if somebody doesn't carve out that time and space, I'm not going to have that experience. So I can't wait. I really love the idea that you and I were percolating about all of this, just as an idea. And now here's the reality of it. And it's also has that extra layer of being special to me because FETC reminds me of you, reminds me of my favorite sketch noter, Amber McCormick. So tell me this. I would love to hear, how long have you been going to FETC?
This will be my fourth time attending FETC, and it has certainly been a lot of fun.
And do you have a favorite? I've been asking everybody that's joined us live that's joining us at the Academy. Do you have a favorite memory?
Well, I'm sure there are many memories I could probably bring up, but the one that kind of sticks with me is, I believe it was 3 years ago, when FETC was in Orlando. We went to Howl at the Moon, and I was able to participate in the EdTech karaoke. And it's one thing to see, educators in the supportive light of the profession that we're in and what we do during the day, but it's another thing to see the support and the camaraderie that you experience in a setting like EdTech karaoke. And so it was so much fun. There were so many people there. I got a chance to sing one of the songs that I would say is a favorite of mine because it has so much meaning and so much value. And I think it's also a song that really shows the value of thinking about other people and how they influence your own life. So that was a lot of fun. Got a chance to go down to the final two, and the person who got the first place that night. Of course, I know that person, but it was just a lot of fun being able to engage in an experience like that. So that's something that I will never forget, because you go to karaoke every now and again, but it's different when you go with educators, because who does it better than an educator?
Nobody. And I love anytime that you sing. In fact, when we did go live at ISTE, I think I was like, Dean, right on the spot. Like, and you busted right out. So I wonder, I don't know if there's any karaoke happening in New Orleans next week.
Well,
We might
that
have to make it happen ourselves.
hey, we can certainly do it. I'm sure there's places that we could go to ignite it, and then who knows, maybe it'll be a thing from that point forward.
I think that's wonderful. Well, that last pathway, and this ties it back to spaces as well. So the three pathways: passion projects, voices and perspectives, and then that third pathway is having an opportunity to learn with EdTech. We're calling them EdTech learning stations. Spaces happens to be one of them. This is that opportunity to not just talk about things, but to actually do it. So all of those pathways, the focus is on action. And the other part that I'm really happy about is that our workshop, which is next Monday, so in a week, January 23rd, 1:30 to 4:30 in room 210. There is also, we've been really deliberate to carve out time and space. We have this interactive workbook full of resources and opportunity for you to be, taking some notes, making those connections, but then to bring that interactive notebook back to your school. Because how many times do you go to a conference? I am so full of like, I am excited, I'm optimistic, but sometimes that excitement and optimism, like I leave at the conference center because I really never had time to plan. So our workshop has built-in time for, we want you to come as a team, not just a teacher or administrator, a teacher librarian, a tech integrator. Come as a team so that you will have these resources as well as the time to then have a plan in place. So you take that excitement and that enthusiasm and you put it into place once you get back into your own school community. So that's the
Yeah,
part that I'm the most excited about, is that this isn't just lip service. We're not just talking about it. We're going to be actually doing it. We're making digital citizenship a verb, Dean. And I can't think of
that's right.
anything that makes me happier than that.
Yeah, that processing time is so important, because that you never know what's going to come out of that either. A new idea based on the catalyst that we are going to experience next week. So
Right. Just like how many times we've had ideas, we've planted those, seeds, and what has resulted. So, Dean, I know you have a busy day today. Where are you off to celebrate Martin Luther King Day?
well, I actually have an event that is annual event here in excuse me, the Orlando area, that honors Martin Luther King, but also kind of focuses on bringing people together from different faiths, different geographic areas, different nationalities. And so again, another way, because that's what I mean, we think about Martin Luther King, that's what he stood for. He really wanted people to treat each other as brothers and sisters, and so that's kind of the idea behind it. And so I have to sing at this event, and I'm excited about it. Of course, I have to sort of make sure I'm vocally ready, and so I'll probably do some of that beforehand, but that's at 10 o'clock today. But I'm excited about that, and again, excited about next week. And one thing I failed to mention, I don't think you all can see the shirt that I am wearing, but it is my goal at the Academy next week to give away at least two of these shirts. It says "Take the Climb," "Take the Climb," and "Climb" is there three times, just like the background that you see on the screen. Because when we think about climb, we think about actually moving higher, moving forward, right? And so that's an acronym that I will probably bring up at the Academy as well, because everything that we do is hopefully with the intent to help others to climb to whatever their goals are, their aspirations, to new knowledge, new heights, new depths. And so these are available in red, white, and blue. And so we'll see you at the Digital Academy next week.
Thank you, Dean. And listen, I how many more sleeps? So then if it's in a week, what we got like 6 more sleeps and I'll see you in New Orleans.
Yes,
So this
yes,
is
yes.
wonderful, 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 wonderful. So Ella, thank you so much for joining us. I will definitely make sure after we're live that you and Dean are connected, because nothing makes me happier than being a connector and connecting incredible people doing the work that is so necessary. So Dean, we'll see you in a week, and we hope everybody joins us for our Digital Academy.
See you then.
Perfect.